Well, hello there, PMEA D11 participants. Once again, this is Mr. Axler here, and I'm going to be discussing the score with you as you prepare to record it for our virtual project. So what you see in front of you is the marked up score, which I have already provided for you a link to, but I wanted to go kind of talk it through with you as well. For those of you who like to kind of hear it through, that may give you a little extra help in this process. So first off, what you'll notice is anything in red will be text to remind you to do something. Anything in green will be specific syllables I want you to give emphasis to. And anything in blue will be breath marks or no breath marks. So at the beginning it says, watch all dynamics and follow all breath markings and articulations. So start off the piece legato. How lovely is. So make it nice and smooth. All right. So you'll notice we have the lovely, a little bit of emphasis. How lovely. If you can get the L to be before the beat slightly, if I'm conducting this, 1, 2, 3, like this. How lovely. So like that. We carry through dwelling place, oh Lord. There's that. Cut off on hosts. Always make your cutoff to be as close to the end as possible. Hosts, oh Lord. The basses don't cut off there. Hosts, oh Lord. So just the upper three voice parts will cut off on hosts. Next page. The high dwelling place, oh Lord. So we carry through from place to oh Lord. That's for all four voice parts. Emphasis on dwell and Lord. Hosts. Notice there's also one breath mark that the basses have on measured, what is that, 20? I guess it's measured 20. Hosts. Oh Lord of hosts. If you see a rest, cut off on the beat. If it's on the beat. Hosts. Now you will see a video, by the way, of my conducting it, and that will help you with the cutoffs as well as you prepare to record it. Tenors have your little solo, the emphasis on love, carry through. Here's thy dwelling place, cut off on place. Obviously, emphasis on dwell and Lord. Same with the bass on how love. Basses, if I could recommend to you, please don't oversing this D, especially the low basses. Keep it nice and light. Love. So you can really make it nice and light there. There's no reason to scream that. It's marked as piano, so keep it nice and light. Once again, our love is emphasized slightly. How love. All going through that. Nice little swell, crescendo and decrescendo is thy dwell. Cut off sopranos and altos on place. Tenors continue. Is thy dwelling place. Break, right? O Lord of hosts. Everyone cut off. We start softly on For My Soul. For my soul. Then back away after that. All right, lots of little things happening here on this part. It longeth, yea, fainteth. So we emphasis on long and faint, break after each of those little phrases. Every voice part has this. All right. Every single time. Just follow those markings. This one little spot right here, measure 54, 55 to 657, tends to be a little bit messy, especially for the altos and tenors. And so we will put a little break in there, but it will get to be a little bit messy there. And for the courts of. So we carry through there from courts to of the Lord. Cut off in beat 3. All right. I call this section the spooky section. My soul and body crieth out. My soul and body crieth out. All right, and cut off. You can see the cut off there. Yea, for the Lord. This is all forte here. Then back away. God. All right, and then back to the spooky. My soul and body crieth out. One thing I did forget to put in here is if you could do me a favor and maybe this will work as I'm actually doing this. Can you also cut off sopranos? Can you cut off with the altos and tenors there? And same for the basses there. Crieth out. So it'll be like it's as if you're going on, but you're not. That'll just make everything nice and clean right there. Okay, yea for living. These little breaks after livings. Yea for the living, yea for the living, yea for the living. Called back away. Back to our moment like we had at the beginning. This is called a recapitulation. It's a recap of what we have already heard, kind of giving us an idea of something we've ever done, but it's going to change. Starts off the same, with the emphasis on love. Carry through, place, O Lord, emphasis on Lord. Break after hosts, except for the basses. Ho, hosts, O Lord. Then the notes change. All right, the words stay the same, but it's obviously a slightly different phrasing. Dwelling place, O Lord. So this is we carry through. The bass is cut off after hosts. Lord of benediction hosts, cut off on beat 3. Blessed are they. Off. I really don't want you to put too much emphasis on that first bless because it's supposed to start off as piano. This one, because the sopranos have this big jump, oh, blessed are, you want to make sure that we have everyone go, oh, blessed are, that's the alto part, right? Oh, blessed are, which obviously is our bass part and so forth. All right, carry through that dwell, break altos and tenors and basses, dwell within thy house. Now, we get some new red text here. Slightly detached and energized throughout. So this section I want to be almost marcato. They praise thy name evermore. All right. So you'll notice like the accompaniment has all these staccato markings here. So basses, especially, you guys are the first. Don't go, they praise thy name. That one. They praise thy name evermore. Wherever the notes are, my bad. All right, tenors. They praise thy name evermore. Praise thy name. All right, so keep it a little bit detached, marcato. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's obviously going to be a contrast to the first section. All right, so give it a little more oomph, a little more energy is what I say, energized throughout. And this carries through this entire phrase. Watch all the cutoffs here. Altos, you're like all over the place, right? I know I'm evermore, 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 evermore. All right, so just be careful of that stuff. There's a ton of this. This is all the same throughout this, and there's no reason to give you all those markings here, but just know they praise thy name evermore, evermore. When you have long notes out, you can go, they praise thy name. Don't go, they praise. No, those notes are still carried through. They praise thy name ever. They praise thy name evermore. So the held notes are obviously held throughout. All right. Big counting issue always for the altos here. Make sure it's 2 beats carried over to 2 beats. Giving you this sense of not sure where the actual beat is. It really feels a little disjunct, which is kind of cool. All right, and this is still carried through. And then finally, we get into the end of this where we're getting a little quieter on the forevermore section here. He praise thy name. And, the accompaniment of dun, 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 dun. Just keep it sustained. And then go back to the legato section. How lovely, how lovely. You'll see those little swell markings on lovelies. Make sure you guys both altos, tenors, and bass, all 4 voice parts. How lovely, how lovely, how lovely. And then, finally, at the end of this, we have a really, really long phrase to deal with here. I don't want to hear any breath marks to the end of this. Tenors and sopranos, I am so sorry. You'll have to stagger it somewhere. So be like, how lovely is thy dwelling place. So just stagger that breath so we don't hear it. The basses and altos, the whole How lovely, how lovely is thy dwelling place. So just find somewhere to hide the breath. Just make sure you're not doing it between is and thy. That would be a really bad section to do that. Is thy. No, we don't want to hear that. That S is carried through. Is thy that would be fine to do there. I go is the that would also be fine. Just not between the is and the thy. We don't want to hear that S. All right. And finally, dwelling place, and then cut off on beat 3. The S's at the ends of these phrases should never be emphasized. Don't go place, place. Very subtle at the end. You're coming to the end of the phrase, and that's throughout. Same with hosts. Lord of hosts. We don't want to hear that S too much in general. Okay? So that's it. I hope that will help you guys. Good luck. Take care. We'll see you soon.